Hi all. Many years ago, before YouTube and even before Chess World, I was working a lot on the barnetchessclub.com site, and in particular on the barnetchessclub.com site the learning section was always kind of popular. So there's an index. I have actually updated it recently for these repertoire choices if you want to check this out. So okay, it's hosted on different servers, and sometimes you might get a quirky page, but E4 opening repertoire is there, and you can see some selected YouTube videos there. Also black against D4. There's a technical article I wrote years ago against the 4 pawns attack. Black against E4. There's a couple of technical articles. Now on the Barnet Chess Club site, I've carried on this theme actually about the opening repertoire theme. If you go to Let's Play Chess videos, you'll see that I have a combo box from the repertoire perspective. So Let's Play Chess videos.com. If you're looking for a repertoire, and I think I'm going to put an emphasis on gambits pretty soon, but you'll see in this combo box about recommendable systems. So white with D4, E4, black against D4, E4. So you remember that video about David Howe? That's the one in C4, black against C4. And so we've got a lot of choices in like white with E4. There's a few gambit recommendations, etc. So that's Let's Play Chess videos. So I carried on basically the theme that already existed in the Barnet site a long time ago on these repertoire choices. But also there are some other things. I wrote this tactics suite of papers, which if you want to improve your tactical ability, have a read through this. It's all written by me ages ago, years ago. So click next at the bottom, and there's a few points I've made about tactics, so you might find that interesting. And also I did an equivalent suite of papers for positional play. So build great plans, and I've exemplified with the masters of planning and positional play, the greatest masters here. So I've said what is a plan, assessing the elements. So this is all on barnetchessclub.com. You click on learning. Also there are some interesting and funny things. If you have a look at why, there's some interesting music I added to this. Boring Bob and Sexy Susan at the time. Actually the music's not playing here, but okay, check that out. But also in particular, actually reassess your chess happiness is an article which maybe I should really put on the Chess World site somewhere, perhaps in the frame site, and would add too much. So this was interesting about not just all being about results. If you want to be happy in chess, just, enjoy the pros more. There's a few points made about that here. Now the tips, there are a couple of paper tips. So this is all written ages ago. I think Paul Georgiou helped me a lot with these two tip papers, and he's always been about 200 or above or ECF, and he helped me with some of these points about improving tips which you might find useful. So here are the main section. So you can see some of them here. So analyze with the opponent afterwards, even if you lose. Try and draw conclusions from games. Try and play with slightly stronger opponents. Get some coaching if you're rich. Experiment with different ways of gaining experience. So there's some improving tips, and some winning tips are here. So this is a bias, of course. King's Crusher bias. Play for king attacks. Put the opponent under pressure. The link between the opening and middle game. Try and get a seamless link going there to know what you're doing after the opening. This was an interesting one raised by Paul. Don't pretend to be Kasparov. Too many people just copy the opening moves without really understanding what they're doing with them. So they become a sort of black box, those opening moves. So sometimes you can play much simpler openings, but if you really understand the ideas better, there's going to be a more seamless integration into the middle game and end games, and you'll know what you're doing, and that's always a good thing, to know what you're doing, not just copying what you think is brilliant, or what is labelled brilliant. So things have got to be under your control and within your understanding. There's also some abstract papers I wrote years ago on reuse in chess, and it all depends. So these couple of very abstract papers, so about how you could reuse like Nimzovich ideas, and this is like in software you would reuse components, but can we do the same in chess? So this was years ago. I was kind of thinking like this, because I've always been into programming as well, so I thought, why isn't there more reuse in chess? The problem with chess is it's all very position sensitive. You've always got to factor in the unique details of the position. But I mentioned this as well in this article that the unique analysis can be combined with some template plans, some stereotypical thematic ideas, which you could pick up from either browsing lots and lots of games on a particular opening or reading general works like Nimzovich, My System. So there's reused chess. It all depends. It goes the other way, that it all depends on the position. There's a friend my friend Kostas Karyanis did this endgame article years ago for the Barnet site. So yeah, check this out. This is the learning section. There's some good stuff in here, and if you're a beginner, there's a beginner set of articles which my good friend Jan wrote and modified for me for the Barnet site. This is all years ago. So it's beautifully illustrated if you want to learn the basic moves of chess there, if you're an absolute beginner. But there's some stuff for beginners, there's some stuff for advanced players. There's also some Amazon book recommendations here from a few years ago. Maybe a lot of these books are still kind of useful today. So yeah, check that out. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.